Okay, first of all, I will never date a female after the one that I'm dating, and I would rather slit an ugly woman's throat than date one. Okay? I'm not recommending that you do the same. In my life, I've been deceived by ugly women. They've taken advantage of when I was down. I've never fallen in love with an ugly woman, and I never will. So, between the fact that I'm incapable of falling in love with an ugly woman, I have a lot of hatred in my heart for how they've treated me over the years, and they've taken advantage when I'm down, and I wasn't supposed to be with the woman I am with now. There will never be an ugly woman in my life, a woman that I'm not completely in love with the way she is, her mind, her looks, and her soul, her mind, body, and soul, including her looks. Okay, with that being said, let's talk about the biblical perspective, shall we? A practical, natural perspective is that we should breed with those we're attracted to, and teenagers are a little bit more free to, even though their parents might step in and say, I don't want you to see this guy, they're a little bit more free as far as social pressure to date good-looking men, and when they get older, there's a lot of pressure on them to date successful men. A lot of these men aren't good-looking, and they're older, and whatever. Okay, so let's look at the verses that people will try to use to say that, well, beauty is skin deep, true beauty is on the inside, and so on and so forth. Well, my argument has always been the same. When they say count your blessings, what do they mean? You have a family that loves you, whatever, this and this, you have your physical health, blah, blah, blah. And if you're a good-looking person, that's a blessing. Let's face it. It makes life easier. When we appreciate nature, we appreciate the beauty of nature. The animals that we tend to appreciate more are the more beautiful animals, the plants, roses, and so on and so forth. The same people who will say that beauty shouldn't matter at all are the same people who like roses, are the same people who buy nice cars and want a beautiful garden and so on and so forth. It is absolute fucking madness. Okay, let's start with the opposition view, shall we? Proverbs 31:30. Charm is deceptive, and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. I agree. Praise her. But should you marry her if you're not attracted to her? No. There's a difference between I respect your point of view, I like the way you think, you walk with the Lord, and I feel in love with you, therefore I should marry you. Should we ever settle? No. God is love. Romance is empty without love. There is no romance without love. It's fake. Never settle for what is fake, ever. Like I said, I've said before, I would rather slit an ugly woman's throat than to be with her or give her a kiss in a, well, for lack of a better word, a romantic fashion, any fashion that is other than a friendly fashion. And I don't give women kisses in friendly fashion, so you get what I'm saying. Now let's go to the verse that proves me right beyond any doubt. Okay? Job 42:12 through 17. It's funny, I just had a discussion with someone about this, and they called me names and said that I'm shallow and this and that, when it is the artificial system that has women choosing successful men. Okay? That's artificial. That is philosophies of man, lesser philosophies of man, that have women practicing hypergamy and dating people with money. And this is also bad according to the Bible. Okay? When you're looking for morality, the highest form of morality is to be found in the Bible. Let's not kid ourselves. Anyway, so Job 12 through 17. So the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning. He had 14,000 sheep and 6,000 camels, and 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 she-asses. He also had 7 sons and 3 daughters. Now, remember, this is all blessings. If you need me to explain to you that to you, then you just need a lot of help. If you need a whole lot of help, and I don't think I'm qualified to help you, because I'd have to take you through such basic things that, I don't have enough time in my life, perhaps. But anyway, and he called, let me start over, okay? I want you to realize how this all flows together. Basically, the Bible's saying that God blessed Job with all these things that I'm going to list from 12 to 17. So the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning, for he had 14,000 sheep, he had 6,000 camels, and 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 she-asses. He also had 7 sons and 3 daughters. And he called the name of the first Jemimah, and the name of the second Keziah, and the name of the third Keren-Hapuk. In all the land there were no women found so fair as the daughters of Job, and their father gave them inheritance among their brethren. After this, Job lived 140 years and saw his sons and his sons' sons, even 4 generations. So Job died being old and full of days. Those are 10 blessings that I counted. Depending on how you count them, those are 10 blessings. From the very first thing he mentioned, okay, the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning, for he had 14,000 sheep. From 14,000 sheep to so Job died being old and full of days. From having 14,000 sheep all the way down to dying old and full of days. Now, what is among the blessings now? Oh, yes. And in all the land were no woman found so fair as the daughters of Job. Now, fair used in the archaic sense means beautiful. And if you look at other versions of the Bible, they use the term beautiful. No women were found so beautiful as the daughters of Job. So what is beauty? Is it a curse or is it a blessing? So is it dishonorable to be attracted to beautiful women? That is fucking funny. That is fucking funny. Now, keep in mind that, yes, beauty is fleeting. You know, the Lord giveth and taketh away. The Lord blesses you with a child, and then your child grows old and dies. And sometimes your child dies before you do. Because your child died before you did, does that mean the child was not a blessing? Because beauty fades away just like the human body, does that mean it's not a blessing and you shouldn't love someone? Oh my goodness. Wow. 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 There are people among you who think that beauty means nothing at all. You know? But then they turn around and say, count your blessings and thank you for the beautiful roses. I mean, what the fuck kind of this is the most hypocrisy that man has ever seen. We live in a time where it's the information age. And are people enlightened and wise? Or are they dumbed down by a bunch of complete cowards who control the information and control even how you disseminate it? When they not only control the information, but your thought processes. Yeah, we want you to look at these things and to think this. We want you to look at these things and to come up with this opinion. They not only control the information you get, but how you break it down? Are you all fucking robots to a bunch of unscrupulous devils? And I was called a devil today for saying that I'm attracted to beautiful women. I'm not going to say who called me that. But it was not exactly someone that I saw as an obvious, straightforward enemy. There's nothing wrong with loving somebody who is beautiful. I am incapable of falling in love romantically with someone who is not beautiful. It has never happened in 30 some odd years, and it never will happen. And every time I dated an unattractive woman, and notice these people will never give me credit for all the unattractive bitches I dated that I put up with and I was completely disgusted with, but out of the goodness of my heart I gave them a chance and I never should have. That's why I tell you, I know you shouldn't settle. You know, some of my biggest regrets is settling. They lie to you, they catfish you, they mislead you, and then you settle. Or you're smart enough to say, you know what, you lied to me, I'm not attracted to you, and you know what you should do. Okay? So, then you might ask, well, what about, you know, don't unattractive people need love too? Yes. And that is the beauty of it, no pun intended, that there are unattractive people in both genders. Now, if you can fall in love with an unattractive person, fine. But to tell someone that you are a bad person because you can only love beautiful women is absolutely preposterous. Need I also remind you that beauty is something also considered subjective. I might find a woman, she is drop dead gorgeous. She's like, what? She's too skinny. You know, she looks like she has a horse mouth. You know, she's a chicken head. Like, you know, it's subjective in the first fucking place. And then you're going to say, well, because you only fall in love with women you think are beautiful. You know, call me fucking crazy. But if I was to stick my dick into a woman, I would hope that I found her beautiful. I don't know. Call me fucking nuts. What are friends for? Friends are the people that you say, wow, you know, I respect your honor, I respect your character, and so on and so forth. Now, Islam teaches you deen, piety, and character, and you can't even see your woman's beauty. You know? Don't have a beard anymore. This is the downside. You can't have it both ways, you Western scum. You communist filth, you atheist dogs. You can't pretend, you can't use Christian institutions and Christians to convince people to see things in a way that is un-Christian-like. You know, all you atheist scum who've infiltrated Christianity, you use it as a way to get what you want. That's how we know you. We know you by your works. You're the cowards that pick and choose and completely avoid the most obvious facts, like homosexuality is a sin, like beauty is a blessing. You know, and you push this kind of communist kind of ideas, except for when it comes to honestly redistributing the wealth. You'll pretend to redistribute the wealth, and you'll keep all the wealth and the secret society manipulation under your control, because you're a bunch of fucking scum. Trust me, never, ever, 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 ever settle for anyone. Period. Now, let's say you're an unattractive man who's poor, because we live in a capitalist society. I'm going to give you advice for the society we live in now. Hopefully it won't always be like this, but bear with me. Say you're an unattractive man who's poor, you know, and you are lonely, and you only like drop-dead gorgeous women. Well, then you're faced with a decision, aren't you? Either you're going to settle, or you're not going to settle. See, the problem here isn't that people like me don't like unattractive women. It's that unattractive women want attractive men. They want to tell that person, hey, you are superficial because you won't date me. Then why didn't they find themselves an unattractive man? They're going up to every attractive man and saying, how dare you not like me because I'm not attractive. But they themselves are looking for what is beautiful to them. I mean, it's a sick feminist fucking society that we live in. A bunch of feminists have teamed up to promote lesbianism, bisexuality, trannies, gender feminism. Don't fat shame, you know. Not only don't fat shame, but love a woman you're not attracted to as much as a woman that you would have fallen in love with, partially perhaps because she's beautiful. I mean, it's just complete nonsense. You know? Nonsense. Anything besides falling in love with a woman that you are romantically attracted to is madness. It is madness. There's degrees of it. Okay, you can team up with a woman. You say, you know what? She's here in life. She sees things the same way. She's loyal. She'll be there for me. Blah, blah, blah. You can say, you know, we make a good team. That's still madness because it's not love, but at least there's a certain logic to it. And it's settling. I say don't settle, never settle, whatever. If you're that unattractive guy that only wants to be with a woman who are attractive, then wait. If you're an unattractive woman that wants fucking tall, dark, and handsome guys, or whatever women find attractive these days, you know, then wait. But don't be upset. You know, the only people who have a right to be upset when they don't get an attractive significant other are people who are attractive themselves. They say, you know what the fuck is wrong with society? I'm a good-looking guy. Why do I have to settle? Or I'm a good-looking woman. Why do I have to settle? These are the only people who have a right to be mad about that specific thing. And there's nothing more really needs to be said. If you don't get that I'm right, you're a fucking idiot. You're a dumbass. You're a fucking dumbass, okay? You're a stupid motherfucker. If you don't get what I'm saying, you're a fucking idiot. You understand me? A fucking dumbass. You know, a bitch that looks like Alicia Keys, you know, and she can't find a fucking very handsome man, she has the right to be like, what the fuck is wrong with society? But a fat, ugly fucking troll can't turn around and say, well, Alicia Keys has a good-looking guy. Why don't they like me? I mean, do I really have to fucking explain that to you? You know? God chose a path for you that perhaps doesn't include super attractive. And if you feel like you got to hold out for that, you know, fine, do it. But don't get upset at people like me and try to twist things and lie about the Bible and so on. Thank you.